Right, so we're going to look at making queries. Remember, in Access you need 6 queries, 2 single table, 2 multiple table, a parameter and an update query. I'll show you how to do various ones. So assuming you have your query design ready, where you stated your table names, your field names and your criteria, let's have a little go at making a single table query. So we click create at the top and then query design. And here we have a list of all the tables we have already. If this box doesn't appear and there's nothing on the screen, you can click on show table and it brings it up for you. So let's say I'm going to have a single table query, and that is to find the name and address or phone number of a customer. So it's a single table query, so I only need one table, which is a member table. So I click on it and I click on add, and you can see it brings up all my member details here. So I close that. And then I say, right, in my query design, which fields do I want to be displayed when I run my query? And each field I want, I just simply double click and it appears down there in the bottom. So I'll say I'll have membership ID, I don't need title, I'll have first name, surname and membership number. So if I run that query now, it's got no criteria in, it will show me all the customers in my database. We've got a couple of test ones there. Okay, but in a business you'd never search really to show everything. You'd need to search on something like a customer surname. So go back to the design view of my query. I go to the surname field, and down in criteria, using square brackets, I'm going to type a little message to the user. So I'm going to say enter surname to search, and I close square brackets. I'm going to make sure that this box is wide enough to be seen on my screenshots. So now when I click run, I get a little pop-up box saying enter surname to search. So if I simply type in a surname and click OK, you can see it then brings up that member. So screenshots for your database, it's your design, then your parameter box with your criteria typed in it, and then the result. Okay, and then when you click save, you can call it something like query single table search for member. Okay, and that's that one done. Now let's move on to a multiple table. Okay, so query design again. Now let's say I'm doing my multiple table without criteria. So I'm going to show all my bookings by all my classes to see the most and least popular. So I'm going to need my booking table. If you think about it, the booking table doesn't show me which class that member has booked. So I need my booking details table, that has the class ID, but I also need the class table, which will give me the class name. Okay, so what do I need? Well, I need to link all these 3 tables together. So the first thing I need is the booking ID. Let's say I'm going to have date as well. I also need fitness class ID, and then from the fitness class table, let's have fitness class name. Okay, so that's my multiple table without criteria. So screenshots will be that screenshot, and then I click run, and I get a list of all the bookings I've ever taken. So that's my second screenshot. Okay. Now let's make a multiple table with a criteria. Let's say a personal trainer's rang in sick and I need to contact customers and tell them that the class isn't on for today. Okay, so we need the booking table and the booking details table, because that gives me the date and it also gives me the trainer ID. So I also need the trainer table. What might I also need? Well, I need to contact the customer, so I'll have the member table as well. Okay, and just like your relationship screenshot, you can move these about to make them a bit easier to see for the examiner when he's marking it. So I'm finding bookings happening on a particular date. So let's say I'm going to have booking ID, date, membership ID, because I want the members' details so I can contact them. Let's have surname and number. I also need the trainer ID and the trainer name. Now yours will probably be different, but it'll give you an idea how to do it. So I'm going to search for all the sessions booked on a particular date. Let's say one of the trainers isn't in. So on the booking date, again, it's square brackets, and my pop-up message to the user, enter date, okay, like that. So that's my first screenshot. Then when I click run, I get the date. So if I type in a date that is in my database, so let's just check what we've got. So look in my booking table, so 22nd of September 15. So back to my query, I click run, I type my date in. That's my second screenshot with the date in, and then that's the third screenshot with the result. So we can see there's two classes on that date, both with trainer name Bill, and there's two customers due to take part. So we've looked at single table, multiple table without criteria, and multiple table with criteria. You'll all have a parameter query. That's any query at all in which you ask the user to physically type something. For example, that date, that's a parameter. So you'll either be a single or multiple table. As long as the user's typing something in, that's fine. If, for example, you wanted to show all the bookings between certain dates, let's say from today to the next 7 days, we don't need the user to enter that. That's a fixed query. To represent the date in Access, we type in date, open bracket, close bracket. So that's today. So that would show us all the bookings today if they're any in the system. If we want to do it in the next 7 days, I'll do date and, I'll do greater than date. So greater than today and less than the date plus 7. So Access works in numbers for days. So that's 7 days, so a year will be 365. So I've got greater than today and less than the date plus 7 days, so in a week's time. If I run that, it would show me all the results. I don't have any, so I won't run it, but that's to give you an idea of how it works. And you can change your greater than or less than around to do the last month, the next month, the last year, the next year, anything like that. Okay. Now the final query we're going to do is an update query. So let's say, for the sake of argument, my design says I'm going to update the cost of one of my classes. Okay, so I go to create, query design, and it's my fitness class table that I'm interested in. Now what do I need? Well, I need the class ID, and I also need the cost. Okay, now up at the top you can see we've got a few different tools up here. I'm going to click the update tool. So the first thing I need to tell the system is which ID, which class am I updating. So I'll say enter class ID. Okay, and then I need to update it something, so I'll say enter new cost. So note the enter new cost goes in the update to row, and the criteria goes in the criteria row. Now when I run it, it asks me to enter the new cost first and then the class ID. For screenshots, you should take a screenshot of the initial table so you can check something's changed. So that's 1099, so we'll do class 1. Okay, so I'll take a screenshot of that, then I will take a screenshot of my design. I will then run it, and I'll say, well, enter a new cost, let's say £20, we can see it change, so I'll take a screenshot of that. I will then say it's the first class, so I'll take a screenshot of that. Okay, I will take a screenshot of that, saying I'm going to update one row, and when I click yes, and then I go back into the fitness class table, you can see it's updated my cost for the Zumba class. So that's an update query. Okay, and that is the end of the little query section. So those little demos should fit all of your query designs. You'll have different table names, different fields and different criteria, but that should get you through completing all of them successfully.